Good afternoon. I wanted to go over the latest tool I got from my shop for metalworking. It's a mag drill or magnetic drill. I got a kit by Hougen. I'm going to go through what it came with and do a demo re-drilling some holes on my welding table. So let's get into it. Okay, first off, the model I got is an HMD 904 Hougen mag drill. I'm going to put a link down in the description to the kit that I bought. You'll see everything that comes with it. First off, for those of you that may not know, a mag drill is a magnetic drill. It's basically a portable drill press. It's got an extremely heavy duty magnet in the base. It's an electromagnet that will lock it down. You can drill into metal sideways, overhead. It's great for a lot of guys out doing mobile work. They have to be up high and put large holes in, especially, for example, ironworking, building, construction, and so forth. One of the things about this one is that it actually has a swivel base to it. So you can swivel it once you lock it into place to adjust it. So if you look at the back, for example, on here, I'm going to go ahead and lock the mag back in there. On the back, you have a power on switch, and it gives you your current status. It'll be red when it's not really sensing a secure area. It needs to be clean. So on the bottom, you want to make sure, because it's got a double magnet down here. Again, this is extremely heavy duty magnet. It's got a sensor in here. But when this is flush to steel and you have a clean area, just like you see right there, you'll get a green light. At that point, you can flip it on, and I can drag this table around. That's the swivel turning. But I could drag this table around my shop just off the weight or strength of this magnet. So to show the safety locking features, I got a little dirt here on my welding table, and you can see the light is green. But if I was to try to set up somewhere where it's got some contaminant in the way, maybe a few pieces of metal shavings are going to be too thick and it can't get a strong enough lock to the base, you'll get a red. Now, even though there's some dirt there, even with it gone green, and we lock it, you can hear that it crushed the dirt, and it's still holding nice and strong. So that's what you want. You want to make sure that it's nice and green, give you a clear to go before you actually start drilling anything. So to show you what it came with, first off, it does have a carry case. I carry it in my mobile rig so that I have it there. I use it in the shop as well. But within the kit, what you also get, this one has a cooling dispenser with it. A little bottle that comes over here. It attaches to the side. You can attach it to either side if you have the chuck on either side. Fill it with whatever liquid you want to cool. Some people use like a cool cut. Some people just use water. Any of that will help. And then it's got a little plastic tube down inside here to connect from here. And there's a little orifice on the back side of the drill itself. Connect that on, turn it on, and you have liquid cooling while you're drilling. In the shop, I use Tap Magic a lot for the most part, so I don't necessarily have to have that. It does come with a safety chain. If you're up in the air and have this thing horizontal, vertical, somewhere overhead, you absolutely want to chain it to something secure. If something happens and you lose power, something falls and cuts your power line, the last thing you need is a 60-pound drill falling through the air when the magnetic base lets loose. Comes with a couple of adjustment Allen keys for it as well. With this kit, I went ahead and got it because Hougen makes really good cutters. What you're going to use primarily with this is going to be annular type cutters. So I got a Hougen cutter set that goes from 9/16 up to 1 16 inches. I do have some other annular cutters I'd had from another setup. And then in addition to that, it comes with the standard chuck adapter. For those of you that may or may not be familiar with these, an annular cutter usually uses a double Morse type bit. This fits up into the chuck, and there's 2 Allen screws that rest on these 2 flat spots. You have a pilot that goes in here to guide your line up when you go to drill the hole, and then that type chuck can only hold an annular bit. So to make it more versatile, you can actually get a chuck bit that comes, or a chuck piece that comes with it. This kit did. This can be removed up here. This threads onto the shaft, and now you can use a regular drill bit. Probably wouldn't do it a whole lot. More than likely, using a mag drill like this, you're making bigger holes, so you want the annular cutters. But for the most part, it's nice to have versatility in any kit that you buy. So next up, we're going to do a little bit of demonstration of how well it works. So the first project we're going to demonstrate this on is going to be my welding table. I've tested it out. We drilled a few holes with it before. This thing works great. But my welding table, I got it from Tab and Slot. And the beauty of it is you can pick whatever size you want. You can add to it, customize it, and so forth. When I bought it, and I've done a separate review on this table, and again, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, I paid for it. I'll put a link to the review on this table down there too. It's a great table, absolutely love it, but I made one mistake. And the big mistake was I did a customization on the top when I ordered it. If you look over here, 2-inch spacing, that's a standard hole spacing for the 5/8 for any type of fixture clamp or fixture for the table. One of the options is every other hole drilled and tapped. It's drilled and tapped to 3/8-inch coarse thread so it can bolt things down. I thought that was a great idea when I bought it. I was wrong. It's handy. I've used it a couple of times, but for the most part, all it does is eliminate options from where I want to put my fixtures because they're used up. It also, slag pops in there, spatter off a MIG pops in there. I wind up having to clean the threads. So having a threaded hole every other hole spacing is actually more of a pain in the butt than it is handy. So what I want to do, I'm going to leave a few of them, but for the most part, we're going to re-drill this table and we're going to re-drill all these holes and use the annular cutter to drill out to get these to 5/8 to match the rest and give me a lot more options on how I configure my fixture clamps when I go to lock things down. So let's get her started up. Now normally you would line up the pilot off of this bit into a hole that you center punch into your material. These holes are already there, so it's a little bit trickier. Now, if these aren't exactly 2 inches apart, it won't be the end of the world because again, these are just for clamping. I'm not aligning to bolt something together. But once I get these lined up the way I want them, have it ready to go, we're ready to drill. You go nice and slow as you start. Okay, here we go. All right, so just that quickly, we're through 3/16-inch plate with a 5/8 hole to match. And now, when you look, I've got an additional hole where these are. So next up, I'm drilling about, I don't know, 100 more holes to get this table lined up. So here we go. So here we are, kind of mid-project. You can see the nice long shavings coming off. Really getting good, clean cuts on all these holes. I'm going to have to open them up a little bit for the fixtures to fit into the holes, but it's coming along, just kind of time consuming. So there it is, all drilled out. By my calculations, it was about 280 holes that had to be drilled here. I did leave about 3 on each side of those drilled and tapped holes, but made a better choice in converting those into actual fixture holes, and 280 something holes with a Hougen bit on there, and didn't dull it a bit. Just go nice and slow. Use either the fluid that you can put in there, use some type of tap cutting lubricant, something like that. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care.